Hi, I'm Anthony Scaramucci. We're here at my office at Skybridge Capital here in Midtown, New York. Well, I discovered Bitcoin early. I met Hal Finney, who was the first person to receive a Bitcoin from the Satoshi wallet, but unfortunately I wasn't smart enough to understand it. I made my first Bitcoin investment in October of 2020. I'm willing to bet my firm on Bitcoin because it is the most transformative piece of financial services technology that I've ever seen, and I believe it will be the operating system for the way we transact money in the future. Well, I was in the White House for 11 days in July of 2017. It was a whirlwind, and frankly, when I got fired and I was walking out of the White House, I was relieved. It was a system and a group of people that I really didn't completely understand, and Washington is just an incredibly different place than New York. The people are way meaner in Washington. The cynicism in Washington and the protection of people's power base and turf is like nothing I had ever seen before. Well, the current Trump administration is off to a fast start. There's some positive things going on as it relates to deregulation. I do think that the deportation stuff, though, is a bit cruel, and I think it's going to bite us. Ultimately, the United States is a beacon of hope for the rest of the world, and people around the world like to see us differently than they see themselves. And so I hope that this sort of cruelty that we're showing doesn't last very long. Well, I grew up collecting comics, and I'm a DC Universe person as opposed to Marvel. My favorite comic book character is Superman, because he represents idealism. He represents what we would like to be, which is hopeful, somebody that stands for truth, justice, and the American way. And so Superman is an aspiration. Unfortunately, most of us, myself included, are like Batman, where we're dark and complex. We're trying to do the right thing, but we're haunted by the good and bad parts of our personality and our egos. And so, but Superman represents a hero who's alone, strange visitor from a foreign planet. He's the classic immigration story to the United States. He starts out in a small town, and he wants to go to the city to make something of himself. And I just think there's a lot in that story that we all look up to and aspire to. I think the number one guiding principle for me is what my grandmother basically used to say to us as kids, which is try to help as many people as you can. And if you can't help them, try not to do any harm to anybody. And I think that was something that resonated from my very Catholic Italian-American grandmother.